Listen, it is a very, very exciting day for me. I am starting my very first podcast, the Afterthought Podcast, with me, Derek Daniels. And I'd like to welcome you all here for the very, very, very first episode. So this is history in the making for me. I don't know how you guys feel, but for me, this is huge. So let me give you a little about myself, man. Tell you a little about myself. You know what? That's another story. Let me tell you how we got here to the podcast. And I want to give you an introduction on what the podcast will be about. I'm trying to stay on course, because sometimes I have a tendency of going left and going right. So let me stay on pace. But basically, the title for the podcast, The Afterthought, came about because I think a lot and my thoughts have thoughts. I don't know if you're anything like me, but sometimes my thoughts have thoughts. Well, not sometimes. A lot of times my thoughts have thoughts. And that could look like anything, man. Like being decisive and coming up with a decision, and all of a sudden I second guess that decision because I have other thoughts. I have to talk myself through it in order for me to get to a place of being okay with the answer, and then I'm good to go. I'm firm. So this is kind of what that podcast is going to be about. I'm gonna try to stay on topics, but I want this to be like an open forum kind of situation. So the way this all started, I'm on Instagram, and I've been on Instagram for years, and I'm a photographer based out of the DMV area, so Maryland, DC, and Virginia, Northern Virginia. I'm not going Southern Virginia, that joint is far. I didn't realize Virginia was that big. But anyway, so I'm a photographer, and of course I use Instagram, and I literally just started a TikTok probably like maybe a month ago, to try to just get my stuff out there and get my clientele, get my clientele up. So I was on there, and I don't know what I did one day, but one day I put up a post that was more like I don't know if you want to call it inspirational post or like a quote kind of post, or it was more just for me to be able to like I was going through something, so I wanted to be able to tell my viewers, like, hey, listen, we're not doing that, or whatever the case may be. And I'll leave my my Instagram and stuff down in the description or wherever it goes, because it's my first time doing this podcast. So wherever it goes, it'll be there so that you can click on it and go to my Instagram page and my TikTok page. I said TikTok, man. I feel so old just saying it. But anyway, so I started putting reels up that weren't like the stuff you normally see. Let me not say normal. It is normal. But for me, it wasn't normal. Like, I've always had a thing of, like, I do videography, I do photography. So it's like, all right, let me figure out a way to, like I said, get some more clients. But it switched to a whole nother platform for me. I used it for something different. And that was, like, motivational quotes, just things to be able to help people. But to be honest, it wasn't about the people at first. It was helping me. These quotes and these statements and things that I say on the reels, they help me. And in turn, they've been helping a lot of other people. So, I'm something light. I got a couple thousand followers, nothing, something slight. No, I'm just playing. But I do have a decent amount of followers. I'm not big time, but I have enough to where I'm making an impact in certain people's lives. And I know that because I'm getting messages, DMs, things of that nature, just people, saying thank you, if they were feeling a certain type of way, and this, reel helped. It came right on time. So I thought to myself, if I can do that with a reel, with a 15-second reel, a 20-second reel, I can reach more people, and I can do that on a bigger platform, which is here, a podcast, right? So that's kind of how this podcast started. I don't want to get too crazy into like everything because I don't want to keep this. I want to keep this short. I don't want this to be too long of an intro. But some of the things that I'll be talking about in this podcast are like me dealing with my own mental health, being a single father, going through a divorce. Like these are things that I feel like our men need our men more now than ever, and especially our young men who are growing up. Another reason why I started this podcast is I have my own son. My son is 19 years old, so he's in that stage of wanting to be a man, right? He's going into his manhood. And then I have a 10-year-old daughter who I cherish more than anything in this world. So a lot of these things that I'm going to be talking about are just from experience, right? How I deal with them, how I've handled them. And if this is something you guys might be interested in, like, please just, like, I don't know if you get a follow or, like, I don't know how this thing works. This is literally, like I said, my very first episode, but I'm going to figure out how to get this stuff together. But, again, some of the things I'll be talking about is, like I said, going through a divorce. Just recently, me feeling like I've gone from, I thought I was a man before, but I feel like there are things like obstacles that have happened, blessings that have come my way. Some of them I missed because I wasn't prepared for them. I was tested and failed. But I just feel like I'm still in a growth stage. I'm a grown man. I take care of my business. Like, I do what I have to do for my kids and myself, and to be able to keep a roof over our head and clothes on our back and food in our bellies. Excuse me. But I still feel like I'm growing, and to be in a place where I feel like I'm growing in a positive way and not a negative way, because I used to be very angry, man. We'll talk about that, though. I used to be a very angry individual. But to feel like I'm growing in a positive way, I look forward to waking up every day. So, not to get too deep. I know I'm getting deep. But I just want to let you guys know that this is what the podcast is going to be about, man. It's going to be me vibing, and hopefully I get enough people who listen and we can vibe back and forth. I'll have some guests on the show. I'm going to try to do, not going to try, because we don't try, we do. I'm going to do one episode a week. I believe I'm going to put them out every Monday. I think I'm going to put them out every Monday or Sunday. I got to see how that looks for my work schedule and how that operates. But it'll be out either Sunday or Monday. And again, man, if this is something you guys might be interested in, if you want to call in, or again, I don't know how this works, but we're going to figure it out, baby. But if you want to be a guest on the show at some point, we can make that happen. I want this to be a forum where people of all types, all kinds, all thought processes, all like whatever it is you're going through, can feel like this is a safe space to come and listen and talk if you want to talk. I don't know what this podcast is going to do. I don't know what it looks like as far as having a plan of like, this is the way I want it to go. I just know that I have a lot on my mind and I want to talk about it. And I feel like I know that I'm not the only one out there who has these thoughts. So yeah, that's what this podcast would be about, man. So I'm going to end it there. And it's been almost 10 minutes. I thought it was going to be like a 2-minute intro. Anyway, I'm going to end it there. And as you can see, I can talk. So my podcasts are going to be between 10 to 15 minutes. I'm not going to stick to that because it may be longer. But that's about the roundabout. So again, if this is something you guys might be interested in, please look out for the podcast. I love to, hear from you guys. I would love to, see you guys, if you want to DM me on Instagram or shoot me whatever it is through Instagram or TikTok. I'll leave all that stuff in, I guess it's a description. I don't know. I sound like I'm on YouTube. I'm actually filming this for YouTube as well, so there will be a YouTube channel. So again, if you guys are interested, man, I'm here. And thank you again for joining me for my first episode, my introduction podcast, the Afterthought Podcast with me, Derek Daniels. You guys have a great night.